Rashad Safi here with Polar Racking. I'm a field service coordinator. I'm going to be walking you through the installation steps for our Gabion basket. I got my team members here with me. We're going to be doing a step-by-step tutorial. Our first step is we're going to make sure we have all the correct components in order to install the Gabion basket itself. That includes the 6 pieces for the walls and the center diaphragm. And basically the first step is you're going to measure out exactly the entire span of the basket, find the middle center rung, and that's where your center diaphragm is going to sit. So when I say diaphragm, I'm referring to the standing vertical walls. This would be one here. There are a total of 13 spiral stiffeners that are included in the assembly application here. And basically the point of these are to hold the Gabion walls together and to make sure that the walls don't come apart. So the guys are just making sure they have all the correct components in order to install the Gabion. They're going to lay them out ahead of time. That'll make it easier during installation. So we're putting our center diaphragm in first, and this is to avoid having to lift up the entirety with the sidewalls in it. It'll be a little tougher and heavier. So first things first, we're putting in the center diaphragm. So as you can see, the spiral stiffener is wrapped around both the steel wire from the base and the middle back, ensuring that it's securely to the base. Next step is we're going to get in the rest of our walls. The guys are starting with the front and back wall. Very simple. Going to keep on going, finishing putting in the longer span walls. There's 2 pieces for this, 2 that basically meet in the middle of the Gabion basket. That's why it's important to know exactly where the middle rung falls. The next step here is to put the walls up, and then we have all of our base walls, side walls connected. Essentially, these are going to stand up. You're going to use your vertical stiffener to attach the walls. So next step is to figure out where our corner bracing stiffeners are east-west and north-south spanning stiffeners go. And essentially you're going to use your structural document. The structural document itself is going to give you the exact cutout of where everything goes, so you're aware. And in this case, we have 18 inches to our north-south spanning stiffener. And what the 2 guys here are doing right now is marking exactly where they sit according to the structural document. And the next step would be to figure out how high off the bottom of the stiffener each layer of stiffener goes. So in this case, you have 2 layers of stiffener. The bottom layer, which sits 12 inches from the bottom up. So we'll figure out what rung that falls on. And the top stiffener sits 3 inches from the top down. So that's how we're going to know exactly where to put our top layer of stiffeners. So once again, a crucial step here is recognizing and understanding where your east-west, north-south stiffeners go. And once you have one Gabion built or a few Gabions built, when you're familiar with exactly how many runs over you went, you can essentially use that as your template. So in this case, we go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rungs over from the center to our first east-west spanning stiffener. So now we're going to determine where our top layer of stiffener goes, and it's 3 inches from the top. So if we look at the tape measure, it falls on the first rung. Perfect. Now we're going to determine our bottom layer, which sits 12 inches from the bottom up. So 1 foot from the bottom, we're going to determine which rung that is right there. So if we count them, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 rungs from the bottom up, not including the bottom. That's how we know where our first layer starts. The top measurements are giving us our locations on where they get fastened, and that's exactly how we'll know where to put our stiffeners. We'll show you how it's done. So as you can see here, the stiffener is hooked onto the cage and it's turned on an angle here. So it's hugging the entire intersection rather than just one piece of wire, giving it more structural integrity. So we have all of our corner brace stiffeners in, and next step is to put our east-west, north-south spanning stiffeners. So we have our Gabion belt. We finished putting in our east-west, north-south, and corner braces. Like I said, everything is according to our structural document. It's very important that you follow that. A very simple procedure once you get the hang of it and you understand exactly what rungs they fall on by counting. Everything is copy and paste from there, and you have a smooth installation.